Out from Canberra. Treasurer, good morning to you. Many of those who marched are angry over a lack of action, a lack of leadership in Parliament. Is the government listening? Is it sinking in?
We are listening, we are acting, and yesterday was a very powerful moment outside the Parliament. We have committed more than $1 billion to improve frontline services, counselling, create safe spaces in order to tackle the very serious issue of violence against women. The statistics are absolutely horrifying, Koch. To think that 1 in 4 Australian women over the age of 15 will at some point experience intimate partner violence, and the numbers are a lot higher among Indigenous communities. So this is a national scourge and this is a national challenge. We must do better and we will do better.
Yeah. Look, I must admit, the Prime Minister's, I was shocked, the Prime Minister's comparison with protests in Myanmar and shooting. I couldn't help but think, why would you say that? Who is advising you or written that for you? Do you need to get more women as advisors to actually sort of direct you firsthand on what to do?
Well, Koch, to be fair to the Prime Minister, and I was sitting right behind him when he made that statement, he was championing Australia's democracy and he was championing the cause of those outside the Parliament, and he was also sharing those frustrations that were being expressed, and he was reinforcing the fact that his government is acting and will continue to act. So I know people have taken pot shots at him, but the reality is he is providing the leadership that we need, and these are very important issues.
You can understand why people are reacting. It really was a poor choice of words, and certainly the scrutiny's on the government for that leadership. But let's move on to your wheelhouse, and that of course is the economy and tax and monetary policy. Australians can expect around $12 billion in tax cuts between now and September. How will the tax cuts help low and middle income earners?
Well, if you're earning $60,000 as a nurse or a teacher, you will pay $2,160 less tax than compared to back in 2017-18. We believe in the fundamental principle that people should earn more and keep more of what they earn. That's why we have legislated such significant tax cuts through the Parliament. In last year's budget, Koch, I brought forward stage 2 of those tax cuts earlier than was originally legislated for, and then we still have stage 3 to roll out. We're abolishing a full tax bracket, so it's significant structural reform, and 95% of taxpayers across the country will pay a marginal rate of tax of no more than 30 cents in the dollar. That's a very significant structural change, which, dare I say, the opposition has yet to fully commit to, even though it's been legislated in the Parliament.
Okay, and really good signs in the economy, particularly the job market, job vacancies, really strong at the moment, which is great with JobKeeper coming off the end of March. Hopefully that momentum in jobs will keep a lot of people in work, but still a lot of state premiers saying you've got to do more. Anastasia Palaszczuk pleading for an extension of JobKeeper. Do you get a bit annoyed with this, thinking, well, the state should be doing more? Why is it always up to the feds?
Well, just so your viewers are left in no doubt who's been doing the bulk of the heavy lifting, we have committed as a government $251 billion in our direct financial response to COVID. That's the equivalent of 13% of GDP. That's more than twice what all the states and territories have committed combined, and we've already put $150 billion out the door. So we would welcome the states to do more, and you've heard it before, not from me, when they say never get between a state premier and a bucket of money. They seem to always be asking the Commonwealth to do more. I'd like them to do a little bit more, but where I think they can make a real difference to the economy and to Australian workers is to keep the borders open, as Gladys Berejiklian has so effectively done in New South Wales. We will have more cases. It's invariable that we will have more cases. It's about having a proportionate, targeted response to those new cases, not having big statewide lockdowns, which obviously create a loss of confidence and ultimately a loss of jobs.
Yep, absolutely. Treasurer, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.